All right, guys, what's up? It's Lewis with Crypto Elite here. Today's date is September 14th, 2018. I got the Bitcoin chart up, got my checklist going down the line here. So let's just start this out. Looking at the trend line, what's going on with the weekly trend line right here? Well, obviously, it's still in a downtrend overall. As you can see by connecting this here and this here, or you could connect this here and this one and this one, this one and this one, this one and this one. As long as you connect two of them and you keep on going and you extend it out, that's how you basically get a trend line. For the counter trend line, you could do something sort of like this. That's a possibility. Or you could simply have this last support on the weekly, which is what I put down right here, this white line down here. So this is the weekly support, this is the weekly resistance. It's still going down. So with this knowledge, one thing that we could say is that probably somewhere around this area, which is 6,800 to 7,000 area. So 6,800 to 7,000 area is where the next reversal is probably going to be. If we come up and reach this trend line again. So let's bring it down into the daily. Well, actually, before we do that, let me just do the Fibonacci, right? So if you do the fib from the high to the low, and then bring it in a little bit. This one went a little bit below the 61.8, and so if this one comes in, let's see where the 61.8 would be. The 61.8 for this would be at 6,900. So that's another confluence right here. So I'm just going to write this down. 6,800 to 6,900 is the next big shorting opportunity. Well, I guess I should say really 7,000, but most likely 6,900. And yeah, 6,900 is the 61.8, right? Okay, so that's the weekly. Let's go down the daily now. So now we're going down into the daily. Obviously, it's a lot more things going on in the daily. So, wait, before I do that, let me just go back into the weekly real quick because I forgot to do the RSI. RSI is in the middle, so not really showing too much. It's been touching this resistance zone a couple times, so it looks like if it has a few points to go up to the resistance zone again, which is probably another confluence around the 6.8 to 7,000 area before it comes back down, right? As for the MACD, is not. It's not really showing me anything. There's no break, there's no trend, so I'm not really doing anything that. But that's the MACD and the RSI. And also, I did change the RSI. This isn't the normal RSI. This is a divergence flag RSI, which is basically the RSI. It has a 70, it has the 30, but this one just shows some divergences, which I thought was really, really cool. So I'm using this one instead of the regular RSI now. But it's the same thing. It just has these little colors on it that are a little bit more indicative of showing divergences, which I think is pretty cool. So anyway, going into the daily, let me get these things off of here. So wait a minute, where is this? 200 is up here. Okay, so we don't really need to worry about that. Don't really need to worry about, this is the 100 as well. Anyway, so what you could see, let me bring this over here. What does this say? In the downtrends, when the EMAs have crossed over and the price is below them, you could short the bounces higher and take profits on the support level. Oh yeah, so if it's in a downtrend, what you could do is, like, you could see it was on a downtrend, it popped up, got the EMAs, you could short right here, and then you could come back down and take profits. You know, this is the support level right around this area, right? So you could take profits right around here. And then if it came back up, you could have shorted again and took profits. If there's another support, looked like the support was somewhere around here. So anyway, that's saying, like, in downtrends, when the price bounces up to the EMAs, if it doesn't go above the EMAs, then you could short, like you could have short right around this area, if there wasn't a lot of other confluences showing that it was going to go up. But you probably knew that it was going to go up anyway, so you didn't want to do that. But you would short around these areas and then come back down. And then in uptrends, you could long the support levels and take profits at resistance. So yeah, always long the support and take profits at the resistance. Buy the support, sell at the resistance. That is so key. You do that, and that will improve your trading so much. Never ever sell at the support levels. Never ever buy at the resistance levels unless they're broken. Okay, unless they're clearly broken with high volume. That's the only time that you want to do that.
You know what a broken phone is?
All right. And then this says, if BTC falls, alts will plummet, inverse head and shoulders. Oh yeah, these were some of the things that I saw over here, possible inverse head and shoulders, which signified a little bit of a rally or signified a turnaround, which we're seeing right now. And the longer it stays in consolidation, the higher the chances it will bounce higher, because the less push is needed to rise above the medians. Okay, this is another thing. Another tip for you guys is that the longer it stays in consolidation, meaning the longer it stays within a period, like this, or like this, or if I could bring it back like this, the longer it stays in that, the higher the chances that it will bounce higher, because the less push is needed to rise above the EMAs. Because when it does consolidate, when it does consolidate like this, for instance, the EMAs, they come and they get much closer together, and then it only takes a little bit of a push to rise above them. This is on the daily. I like doing it on the 4 hour, so I'll just go down to the 4 hour because it makes it easier. But yeah, you could see, like, we're coming down, and it should just be downward, a little bit downward, a little bit downward, a little bit downward, and then all of a sudden we started getting this period of consolidation over here, and then what happened is the EMAs, they came closer and closer together until finally it was easy for the price to just rise above it. And then once it got over here, this would be a good time to long, because it rose above all of the EMAs and the EMAs flipped, right? And then it just continued to consolidate, but then finally it did rise up, which was should be expected if you're using the strategy of buying and going long when the prices are when the EMAs consolidate. So that's just one other thing that I wanted to mention over there. But let's just go into this a little bit more. Also, I did write down a few other things, so let me just go through these things that I wrote down. All right, Bitcoin, we traced back to the 31.2. It was resistance zone, dead cat bounce region. So yeah, if you take the fib, you could see that it did reject off of the 38.2 basically very, very, very precisely right here. This is a dead cat bounce region, so it could come back up and then fall back down to the 23 and then pop back up to the 61.8 is a good region. So, and that is the same confluence as before, around 6,900. It could be 6,800. It could even be 6,600, because you have to realize you have to look left, right? And you have to look over here. Actually, I don't want to use that one. I want to use this one. You have to look over here. And what is this? This is a lot of resistance, right? So what I'll do is I'll take this one out for the time being. I'll just leave it on the weekly and the daily and the monthly. So this one right here, this is resistance, 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 resistance. You could turn it off. Resistance, resistance, resistance. False breakout, and then finally a real breakout, and it turned into support. So now it's at support. And Jesus fucking Christ, dude. And this would be a really, really good time to buy because, well, what happened? Firstly, it broke out above the EMAs, right? Secondly, it broke out and then no, wait, would it be a good time to buy? Not necessarily. Not necessarily, so scratch that. I don't know if it would really be a good time to buy. So anyway, this right here, this is the prime shorting zone, and I wrote it down. This is basically like the big short. Like this was the big short, right? This is another really, really big short zone. What you could do, because something is forming, is what's forming is a triangle. Check that out, right? So a triangle is forming. So could come up here, touch this, come back down, touch this again, come back up, touch this again, come back down, touch this again, before breaking down lower, down to the regions that we saw in the weekly, which we originally plotted down right over here, right? So it could, like the 4,000, the 5,000 levels, the 5,000, 5,500 levels. Sorry for it being so convoluted over here. Let me take this off and just leave that on the weekly. Right, yeah. And it could come down to these levels on the weekly, while on the 4-hour, it still will be in the triangle. Where'd the triangle go? Sorry, guys. I'm just going to leave this. In the weekly, yes. While on the hourly, we have the triangle forming, right? So there you go. What else did I write down? Daily higher lows, could see more upside. Right, so another reason why it might come back up is because on the actual daily, if we zoom in, we have been getting higher. Firstly, there's the inverse head and shoulders, which is a reversal pattern, and then there's higher lows, higher lows, higher lows. So we've been getting higher lows, so now that's a trend sort of happening right now to continue higher, and we did bust through the 8 EMA. which is another thing, to continue higher, which is why it's probably going to come up here, in my opinion. Let's see what else I wrote down. RSI strategy for oversold. The first oversold RSI. Okay, this is a big one. The first oversold RSI is the third wave down. The second oversold RSI is the fifth wave down. Look for bullish divergences here to go long. So what does that mean? Let's go down to the hourly, and we have the price and we have the RSI right here, right? So where did the RSI become oversold? Was it in the hourly or was it in the 4 hour? Yeah, it was in the 4 hour actually. So yeah, in the 4 hour. Now I am just getting into Elliott Wave, but so I'll need a second to remember this. Okay, so this is the RSI and Elliott Wave theory, right? So this could be a 5 wave coming down, right? I'll change the color. Let me change the color because it's sort of not a good color. I'll change it to white and I'll make it thicker. So this could be the 5 wave down. Okay, so you could say that the first bounce or the first time in the oversold territory is the third wave, and then the second time in the oversold territory is the fifth wave, and this could be considered, the second time in the oversold territory, but it would be invalidated. It's not the fifth wave because that wouldn't be a valid count if it was like that, right? So that's, I'll have to. I don't want to speak too much about Elliott Wave theory, but these are just like little things that I'm learning about it. And as I continue learning more about Elliott Wave, I'll obviously improve. And then once I get a really good strategy down, I will, pass that on to you. But this is one thing that I learned was that if you do have a bearish trend and you do a 5 wave down, the first oversold territory is the third wave, and then the second oversold territory is the fifth wave, and that's when because there's 5 waves down, that's when that you could go long, and it would be a good opportunity to go long because it's the fifth wave. It's not going to go down anymore. It has to reset. It has to go back up usually. So that's one thing that I learned. So now that we have that, another possible scenario might be something like this, like an ABC pattern. Let me change this color to white as well. Now, maybe the ABC happened right over here, or maybe it'll come up to this level. We're not totally sure yet. So this is just all theory. Like I said, I don't really want to get too much into Elliott Wave and ABC patterns and things like that because I'm definitely not an expert in them at all. But this is from the other, training videos and technical analysis that I have learned, and from the current updates in a couple other groups that I'm in. This is what they're saying. Could be here, could move up a little bit, because what you have to do is you have to continue to look left. Let me just see if there's on the daily, if there's any big resistance zones, because I know, so you could see, like right here. Here is, look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is a really 6,700 area. This could totally be a resistance zone is right around here. And then also same thing right around here. There's a lot of support. Oops, let me get this off here. There's a lot of support right here. Boom, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Around the 61.8. That's why this is the prime shorting opportunity. This is a good shorting opportunity, but this is a much better shorting opportunity. So that is an option right there. I mean, right now, 6.6 is, let me get this. No, I don't want that. I want my C. Get over here. Yeah, so let me fix this. So right now, 6.6 is really the next resistance zone. Anywhere between 6,585 to 6,625, because this area is where the EMA is, and then this is where the 38.2 Fibonacci is, and it all aligns within this area, right? So anywhere in here is a possible short before you short to fall back down and come back up. I would honestly just wait until it reaches a little bit higher. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna wait. I don't think I'm gonna short anytime before 6.6. You know, I'll have to think about it. I'll definitely have to think about it and keep on updating it in the Telegram group as to my position and everything like that. But I mean, look at the RSI. It's like resetting. It's not in oversold territory or anything. It has a ways to go. So that's why I think it's going to continue upward. The price will continue upward because the RSI still has a little ways to go before it hits another resistance. Or maybe it'll hit another resistance at 6.6, or maybe it'll come back up into the 6.8, 6.9 region. And once again, that's why this is like such a good shorting opportunity. So basically, to sum this up, there is a really big shorting opportunity coming up right now, probably somewhere around the 6.9 region. This is, right over here. Where'd my Fibonacci? Here's the Fibonacci, you could say. So this is the 61.8. It's been happening a lot. If you recall, if I zoom back out, this was on the 61.8. This was just below the 61.8. This was on the 61.8. I'll just do it so you can see what I'm talking about. Even though it's already been done before, but bring this back up here. But the point is, here we go. Yeah, you do the Fibonacci, right? Boom, boom. Boom, boom. 61.8 right over here. Take this, take the fib from the next one down. Boom. Boom, boom. This one was at the 50. This one right here. Boom, boom. 61.8 right here, right? Delete this. And then this one, boom, boom. 61.8. It's hard to see with all of my shit, but yeah, 61.8 right here. Boom, boom. By the way, I added these two gray areas right here because I want to use them as I want to put a lot of my orders in right around this area, like below the 61.8. I'm not going to be super greedy and place all of my orders at the 61.8. Remember in my training videos, I said that you should stack your orders midway between the 50% and the 61.8. That's what you should do. It sort of pissed me off because I got so into all of these other day trading things with these groups I'm in and these people I follow and stuff. And they've been, my strategy has always been just stack my orders in, and eventually it hits and then it turns around and it comes back. And I've been really successful with that. But all these other people, they have their own strategies, and I'm not super, efficient with their strategies. So I haven't been winning as much, and it's been sort of pissing me off. So this time around, what I'm gonna do is, you can see right here and right here, and this one came up to the 61.8, right? So this time around, this comes up here. This goes down here. The 61.8 right around 6,900, I'm gonna stack. I'm gonna stack my orders because that's what I want to do. And look, it right here is a resistance level, so that might be another resistance. This was at 6,900, exactly 6,900, and I'm sure if you go into the daily, you could see that there was a lot of resistance around that area. So yeah, this entire area right here is a little bit 3 bars. Right here's 2 bars. Well, 1, 2, 3 if you count the wicks. This whole area is right here. Yeah, right in this area. There's a lot of resistance. So anyway, that's basically the game plan. And the thing is, if you do this, then, let me erase this. Then, what percentage can you expect? Well, you might expect it to come down, If this is bullish, then what you could say, you could definitely expect, 69, and it to probably come back down, hit, let's say if this is 6,900, it reaches this level, you could expect it to come down probably back up to 6,400 because this is 61.8 right here. So then you could take profits, and if you take profits there, that's like 7%. That's 7% gains. So if you stack, it'll probably be like 5.5 to 6% gains. 5.5, 6 to 7% gains. Really, really good. Yeah. So basically, that's the last thing I wanted to say. Everyone is pretty much saying that around this area is the best shorting opportunity. Is like the next big short. A lot of people are doing it. So that's what I'm doing. If it comes back down to 6.3, 6.4, I'll probably reload. Excuse me. I'll probably reload on my longs, and then short the hell out of it up here. All right, so that's it, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Let me just do this real quick. When it comes to ETH, same game plan. Nothing has changed. ETH USD, here it is. Yeah, nothing has changed for ETH. I don't know why this is doing this. Yeah, I mean, here's a lot of resistance right around this area. Let's just do the resistance points, right? There's a lot of resistance right here, a lot of resistance right here. So, anywhere between, and this was the support. So my stacks are still stacked. I shorted at 215. I shorted at 220. I'm shorting at 224. I'm shorting at 230. If it goes above this area, right? This is for you, Armin, because I know you're concerned about this. Look at this. This is why I have my stop loss at like literally real tight at 237, is because I'm shorting it. I want it to go back down, right? So I have my stop loss literally like right above my short orders, because look at all of this area up until the new 10%, basically 10% up until the new support slash resistance. And this isn't even like the really big one. The real big one is right around here. This is where the next area would be if it's probably going to come back down around 260, 269, somewhere around there. So yeah, that's my play for Ethereum. It's the same exact play I've had for a few days now. Sticking to it. I should have taken profit when it fucking fell back down to 202. Didn't do that, so I'm sticking with my shorts, and now we could go. So that's it, and I'll talk to y'all later.